What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel with Generation Pips with another weekly Forex analysis video. I'm Eli. Grab your coffee. Let's go ahead and hit these charts. First thing we're going to look at is going to be Great Britain Pound USD on a weekly time frame. We can see that price came back into this weekly area of resistance and formed an engulfing candle, right? So we're going to be looking potentially for some selling potential or potential reversals. So on a daily time frame, we can see that price had this resistance used as support, and price is back at this area again. So two things will possibly happen is price will push back up over here in respect to support, or price will break down to the downside and go back down to this next area of support resistance that we had down here. So let's go into the 4-hour time frame and look at our opportunities. So in the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price is currently sitting at this area of interest, which is at daily. And what we'll need to see is price come back into this area and start doing some shift of structure before going to the upside. That's going to be the first play, and if that doesn't work out, like I said, we'll be waiting for the opposite price to break down on the daily, pull back, and then shoot down to the downside. And that's going to be GU going into this week. Next up, we got AU on the weekly time frame. We can see that we had this nice area of support used as resistance to the downside. We have not tapped into that area just yet, so that may be something that we look at in the future. But as of right now, let's go down to the daily time frame and get a closer look at this price action. So in the daily time frame, we can see that we had this resistance, price shot down, resistance, price shot down. We broke below this resistance area. Instead of using it as support to push to the upside, we broke down beneath of it. Right, so we're going to wait to see if price will pull back into the zone a little bit more before going back down to this next area of resistance that we have at the bottom. So in the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price is playing around that daily zone. So we're going to see if price can shoot back up to the upside and it potentially give us a nice short to the downside. And that's going to be AU going into this week. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about UJ. This is a nice play that we talked about last week. We're still waiting on this trade to play itself out, but we had a nice bullish push on the weekly before breaking through that weekly area of resistance, and now we're coming back to test that weekly area of resistance. Let's break this down to the daily time frame. We're going to look at potential zones and targets. So we have this daily support here that tested for the second time, and now we're back at that weekly zone. So we're going to go down to the 4-hour time frame that we talked about last week, that we were waiting for the price to come back into this weekly zone like we are now, deep in this weekly zone, and we're waiting for price to have a shift of structure. So that's going to be coming deep into the zone, taking out a low, and then coming back on the opposite side of that weekly zone like we have drawn up here before potentially going short back down to that daily support area. This is a nice play. Looking forward to this maybe this week, maybe next week. We don't know. We're just going to stay very vigilant. I believe this will be a great opportunity for anybody that's trying to get into UJ. All right, so for the last pair of the week, we're going to be looking at USD CHF. This was also on last week's weekly analysis video. So we had a nice weekly structure of price rejecting off of here multiple times off of this weekly zone, shooting to the downside. If we bring this down to the daily time frame, we can see that price had formed this nice daily support, and it came back into that area again before consolidating in this area, right? We got a consolidation between the daily zone and this daily area here. Break this down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price broke free from that area and is starting to pull back into this area. So this is what we're going to be looking for going into this week. Nice pullback before going long going into this week. Staying patient on this one as well. I have an alert already that says look for long. So once price comes back into this area, I'll be looking for a potential engulfing candle, pin bar, morning star, something to give me some bullish momentum to go to the upside. And that's going to be all that we have for this week. So thank you guys tuning into this week's analysis video. For more content, follow us on Instagram at GenerationPips. Remember to subscribe, hit that bell button for regular updates. And also, if you enjoyed this video, drop a comment. Let us know what you guys would like to see on next week's video. Thanks again, and as always, happy trading.